be telling you guys about my first big move. So, if you guys do not know, I'm originally from New York. Sorry if you guys hear barking, it's Poochie. He's in the cage right now. He's upset because we was playing earlier, but I had to put him in the cage so I could record because he kept jumping in the camera. But I'll tell you guys about my experience with moving. A little background on me. I'm from New York, from the Bronx, New York, and I came to Virginia in 2014 because I went to, and I've never been in Virginia. I've never even visited my school before I even went. Like, I just got accepted and I went, like, you know, because I was mainly applying to schools in New York, but you know, because I was being cautious of like my parents, you know, what my mom can afford. So automatically I was just like, I'm just gonna go to a SUNY school. Like, I'll probably go to Buff State, or I'll probably go to freaking Albany State, you know, regular party schools in New York. But I just didn't want to go there. I wanted to really network and meet people that I couldn't meet in New York. I got accepted to Virginia. No, I got an application, like a free application waiver or whatever, to Virginia State. So I applied and I got in, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to Virginia State. Like, after I did my research, I was like, I'm just going to go to Virginia State because I'm like, I just need to get out of New York. I need to get, you know, away and not see no familiar faces. Like, I just really wanted to network. So 4 years later, I graduated May 2018. And after that, I don't want to say it went downhill, but it kind of just like, I was stagnant. And me, I'm the person where I have to keep myself busy, because if I'm not keeping myself busy, I'm gonna feel stagnant. So after graduation, I was supposed to move into my own apartment, but that fell through. So I ended up staying with a friend, and I stayed with her from May until December. So the whole time that I stayed with her, first of all, I just want to have a disclaimer. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm bashing anyone in this video, because that's not what I want to do. I'm literally just sharing my experience with you guys. And you know, I've had talks with these people, and no, we're no longer cool. But you know, we just agreed to go our separate ways, and that's pretty much it. You know, I don't have beef with people. I don't like having bad blood with people, and that's just how it is, you know? That's literally just how it is. So I was staying with one of my friends from May until December. And, you know, when we first moved in together, it was really rough because, you know, we've never stayed together before. So it was rough. And we argued almost every day. And then it's like, she had a really bad temper. So anytime she would argue with me, the first thing that would come out her mouth was like, get out of my house. Like, this is my house at the end of the day. Like, this is my house. You can go back home to New York. Go home with your family. Like, just get out, kind of thing. And of course, it made me feel bad. But I'm just like, you know, after a while, when someone is like telling you to get out every single day, or they're like complaining about any little thing that you do every single day, it makes you feel like you're doing something wrong. Even though I could have been doing something wrong, but my thing is, even if I was, that could have been communicated. Like, you know, it's bothering you, or like, we're two adults, so you could have communicated that to me. But I mean, it was a real big thing, a lack of communication. I think that with this generation period is a lot of lack of communication, because it's like people act like they can't talk to you. Like, you could sit here and text me like what you have an issue with, but I'm sitting in the house all day and it's like you can't say anything to me. So like, I don't understand that. I really don't, because I'm an upfront kind of person. I don't like to text, like argue through text or go back and forth through text, because people take text messages you know, out of context. I can say it one way and you can take it another. That's why I'd rather, you know, just text. That's why I'd rather not text. Like, I'd rather just talk in person. But it was just a lot of going back and forth with her. It was a lot of arguing. You know, she did have roommates at the time, and it was like the whole house was just real toxic. Like, it was a lot of arguing going on, a lot of fighting, a lot of, you know, pettiness going on. Don't touch my stuff. This mine, this yours. Like, it's just a whole lot of stuff that went so wrong in that situation. And for 7 months, like, I was just so depressed. Like, I felt like I didn't have nothing of my own. You know, I bought stuff into that house. I, you know, put stuff, decorated that house. Like, I added furniture in that house, and it was still like, oh, like, you don't, at the end of the day, you don't live here, and like, you don't do nothing. And like, and I'm just like, what the heck else do I have to do? Like, I was cleaning, I was cooking, like, and then at a point of time, it was kind of like, you know, people felt entitled to me doing stuff. Like, you come home and where's my food? Or like, oh, why is the dishes not washed? Like, and it's just like, I'm not a maid. I'm really not a maid. Like, I was expected to cook and clean every day, and I did not have a job at the time. So my way of contributing was cooking and cleaning. But I just felt like at a certain point, you need to take in consideration, like, okay, yeah, I don't have a job and I do contribute this, but it's just like, you're taking advantage of me. And that's pretty much how people were to me the whole time when I needed people to, like, you know, really have my back. Like, I just felt like I was being taken advantage. Like, y'all will sit here and complain about little stupid stuff, like, or about like miscommunication and like, or just not speaking to me at all. Like, people will not say anything to me and then have like, you know, stuff going on in their head. Like, they just feel mad, like, about a certain situation, but never express it. And me, I kept seeing you. Like, I would keep seeing you. I would keep saying hi, like, and I would not have an issue with it. And then it's like, out of nowhere, you're getting like thousands of text messages like, oh, I just feel this type of way about this, and I feel this type of way about that. And I'm just like, December 5th, I moved out of my friend's house and I went to another friend's house. And I stayed there for about 3 weeks because I was intending to move. I was supposed to move in January 15th, which I did. So, you know, I told her, like, you know, I only got to stay here for a little while. So, like, you know, just let me know. And she was just like, all right, that's cool. Like, you know, no problems. You can stay with me. And it was just it was weird. Like, that experience was really weird. At this point, I got a little serving job. So in November, I got a serving job. And then I also got hired seasonal for working with Victoria's Secret. So I was telling her, like, yeah, you know, you can use my discount if you want to. Like, I was like, let me know what you want. Like, if you want something from there, I'll get it for you. Like, you know, just little stuff like that. And I'm just like, you know, if you need me to contribute any money to your household, let me know. Mind you, this whole time I'm going back and forth by myself. Like, I had to Uber and Lyft every day to work. Then, you know, I was walking actually to my serving job. So I would walk to one job, and in my other job, I would Uber back and forth. So, I was doing a lot on my own. Like, I didn't cook at her house. I didn't do anything at her. Like, everything that I did was like, I bought it on my own. Like, I went to her house to literally like shower and sleep, and then I was out. Like, I had to be at Victoria's Secret really early in the morning, so I was waking up really early, going to Victoria's Secret at like 6, 7 in the morning sometimes 8, and then I would get off around like 2 or 3, go back to her house, shower, then go to my serving job at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. And yeah, so it was like I was really in and out of her house, and it's like she felt some type of way about me being in and out of her house, and she just felt like, she was like, I feel like you're using me because, like, you know, you're not here. You only come here to shower and leave. And, like, you know, we don't have a relationship no more. And it was pretty much like, she was like, I just feel like I'm being used because you only, like, text me when you need to get in and out of the house. So I'm like, mind you, all of this is in text messages. So I'm just like, but you let me in and out of the house. So if you felt this way, why not just say something to me, like, when I was in front of your face? Like, you see what I'm saying? And it's like, it's plenty of times where we were in our house together and I would be getting ready and, you know, she would be doing her own thing, and it's like, you had ample opportunities to speak to me, and it's like you didn't. So all these feelings that you have, they're harboring inside of you, and you're feeling some type of way because you're seeing me every day, and you just feel like, oh, well, she just like in my house, and she not like, you know, she not knowing that I feel some type of way. But it's like, how am I gonna know that you feel some type of way unless you tell me? So it just kind of blew out of proportion. Like, one day she just texted me like, oh, I just, you know, you gotta leave. I just feel like I'm being used and blah, blah. And I'm just like, but how do you feel like you're being used when I asked you what you wanted for your house? I asked you what to contribute. You told me don't give you nothing. You know, at the time I just started working, so I gave her what I could. This was all within the first week that I got there. So I gave her, I think I gave her like $30 or whatever. And I was like, okay, like, you know, let me know what you want me to do. Text me when I was getting off of work, and I was texting her like, hey, I'm on my way back to the house. Like, I'm gonna shower, get ready for my other job, and then I'll be back tonight. And she pretty much was like, okay. Then she texted me back a couple minutes later and was like, yeah, in conclusion, I just feel like you need to find another place to stay because this is more of a business to you than a friendship. And, you know, so I'm just like, I don't really understand where all this is coming from. Like, I didn't know where it was coming from. And honestly, I was in a place in my life, excuse my language, I was at a place in my life where like I just really didn't even care anymore. Like I was just so done with people using me and people like, you know, being that I had to rely on them, they felt like they can do and say whatever the freak they wanted to me, and I was just over it. So, you know, I just texted her back like, that's fine. Like, you know, I wasn't angry. I'm still not angry or anything. So I was just like, you know, that's fine. I'll just get my stuff and I'll leave. So let me know, you know, when I can come pick my stuff up. And then at that point, it's kind of like she got hesitant and was just like, no, because I just wanted to talk to you, and like you know, you in and out of the house. And I'm just like, well, this is not the way for you to talk to me. For you to pick a fight with me and then be like, okay, like, well, I just wanted to talk. No, you said in conclusion you wanted me to leave. You wanted me to leave. So I'm going to respect it, and I'm going to leave your house. And I did agree to speak with her, because I told her, I was like, I'm not going to keep doing this back and forth thing through text. I did agree to speak with her, but honestly, I just wanted to get my stuff and leave, because I was just so over and tired of people like just flat out doing me dirty. Came to stay with my cousin, who is already out here in Atlanta, and I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to stay here until... you know, I'm just going to stay here until I sign my lease, and that's what I ended up doing. And now I'm here, guys. So it was a really long journey. It was hard as F. It was hard to get here, but I'm here, and I'm ready for the next chapter. I'm ready for the next step. I don't know what Atlanta has in store for me, but I know that it's great things, because I wake up every morning and I'm just so happy. I'm just, you know, happy to have something that's mine, like my own space, my own peace of mind. Like no one can tell me what to do. Like I don't feel like I have to cook for everyone. I don't feel like I have to walk on eggshells every day, because that's pretty much what I did. Like, you know, staying with someone else is literally walking on eggshells. Like, you know, I would always make sure I cleaned up behind myself. Like I did my best, and it just always felt like it wasn't enough. It wasn't, and I feel like it wasn't enough because, you know, whenever I came over, people felt entitled to my stuff. Like, oh, you have to be doing my hair, or you have to be doing my makeup, or you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to this. And I'm just like, if we're friends, you shouldn't be doing this to me. Like, because, you know, there's plenty of people that was in my situation all throughout college. I don't ever remember a time when I was in college that someone was not sleeping on my sofa. And I'm not saying this to embarrass anybody or just saying this to be like vicious, but when I say my house, I always had an open door with my house. Like if you need a place to stay, you can stay on my sofa. I had so many people staying on my sofa. Like I didn't ask for no money. I ain't say, oh, well, you got a car, drive me back and forth. Like I didn't do that to people. Because when I tell you, like, even people would just come over to my house and I'm just like, oh, y'all want some wine? Let's drink some wine. And I cook dinner. Like, that's just the type of person I am. When you're around me, you don't have to do nothing. You don't have to. You don't have to. And so when I was put in that situation where I needed my friends and they weren't there for me, it really did make me feel, it made me feel away. It really did, because I'm like, wow, it's crazy because, you know, when y'all was going through y'all stuff and when y'all was in y'all situations, I was here. And I'm that friend where it's like, you know, even if I can't help you to the full extent, I'll help you in some way, shape, or form. Because I don't know what it is, but I feel bad if I can't help someone. So like, if say you ask me for help and I'm like, dang, like I'm not gonna be able to, you know, I'm not gonna be able to help them. Or like if you call me like, hey, I need $50, and I'm like, okay, well, I ain't got 50, but I got like 15 on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that type of friend. I'm really that. I'm getting so pissed off. Way to help, and I just felt like that energy was not reciprocated when I was put in these positions. And it could have been prevented, because I had a lot of brothers and sisters that could have helped me out, or that I reached out to that didn't help me out. And it's like now, it's like I still made it. So I mean, I still made it, so it really doesn't matter. Was why Atlanta? So this is so funny. This is gonna sound so cliche, but okay. So I went to Virginia State because I seen Stomp the Yard. Like, y'all do not go on me because Maddie went to HBCUs because of Stomp the Yard and of College Hill. You know, like I wanted to go to Virginia State because College Hill, all that stuff, like it was lit. So I was like, I want to go, and that's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same idea with why I came to Atlanta. First of all, my favorite movie when I was younger was ATL. Like I used to watch ATL every single day. Like I loved ATL. I loved the whole ambiance of ATL. I loved that it was like the Black Hollywood. I'm just like, I want to go one day. Like I want to go. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna go. Like, And I've come and I visited before, and I was just like, I don't want to leave. Like, I just did not want to leave. So I was like, you know what? This is where I'm gonna go after I graduate from school. So, you know, this is what I ended up doing, guys. And another thing that I want to say, guys, is to always speak things into existence. Like, the tongue is the most powerful thing that you can have. Like people will try to speak things into your life, negative and positive, and you just have to make sure that you are always putting the positive and you are speaking your dreams, your plans into existence, making sure that you believe and that you know you're putting it out there in the atmosphere and you're praying on it, and you know. That's why I speak so highly of myself. Who, if I'm not gonna speak highly of myself, who is? Not y'all. No, I'm just joking. But no, seriously, like, you have to speak highly of yourself, and you have to really I'm a firm believer into speaking things into existence, because that it happens. Look where I'm at. Y'all had $750. How was I getting here? I didn't know I was getting here. I was gonna get on a China bus, and I don't even like the China bus, y'all. This is that's a whole nother story time. But I was gonna get on a freaking China bus to get out here. That's how determined I was to be here. Like, you have to speak it into existence. And even though when things don't make sense, God is gonna make it make sense. God is gonna make a way for you. You just have to keep praying. You just have to believe Him. You have to. That's why, like, I'm telling you, I wake up every morning, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do today, but God is good. Like, y'all just have to have that attitude. I'm here. I'm just thanking Him for where He brought me. You have to appreciate, even though it's not the peachiest thing or the most beautiful thing in a moment, you have to appreciate the fact that look at where I was 7 months ago. I was depressed in someone else's house, you know, not feeling wanted, I felt worthless. I felt like everything I did was, you know, was bad and horrible. And now look at me. I'm just so full of joy. Like, God has been He's been blessing me since I stepped foot in Atlanta. Guys, when I tell y'all, I'm going to make another video for that too, because it's a lot. But God has been blessing me since I stepped foot here. Like, I've met people already. Like, I've networked with people already. Like, God is going to work. He's going to work. So you just have to take that dream, take that idea, and really just dip out. Oh, I thought my camera's about to turn on. Someone asked me, do I have a roommate? Yes, I do have a roommate. Me and my best friend from high school, we are roommates. And that's another thing. If you feel like you can't afford the rent on your own, I do suggest that you get a roommate, because the rent would be cheaper. You know, there's a lot of like 1-bedrooms for like $980, I want to say. But then it'll be like 2 bedrooms for like $1,200 or like $1,300. And I mean, it comes out cheaper, because instead of you spending $980 by yourself, you're only spending $500-600 a month in rent. Because the cost of living out here isn't that expensive. Depending on where you are, it's not that expensive. So if you do want to cut the rate down, I would say to get a roommate. And I feel like this is a good place to start. Also, if you're on your own, because I mean, if I went back to New York, y'all know damn well I was not getting no apartment and be paying $1,600 or something by myself for like 1 bedrooms for a hole in the wall studio. Like, no. People go on like Craigslist and stuff looking for roommates. I don't suggest that, because that's just kind of weird. But if you do have someone that you can room with, or you know someone who's out here that you can like stay with for, you know, and y'all can split a lease or whatever, I definitely suggest that. So the next question that I had, what was I working? Okay, yeah, I was working at Victoria's Secret and I was a server. Yeah, it was hard, guys. I had like emotional breakdowns like almost every day. I barely had any days off. Like, the whole 3 months of me working before I came out here, I literally had 3 days off. Like, I had 3 days off. And even on my off days, like, I didn't know what to do with myself. Like, I would jump up out of my sleep. I would be so jittery. Like, it was really bad. Like, I had really high anxiety. Like, I cried myself to sleep almost every night. Like, it was really, really bad. But I mean, yeah, I had to do it. I had to do it. So after graduation, I did go through a period of depression, guys. Yeah, I did. It was really bad. I just felt like I wasn't living up to my full potential. So, and then again, as I said, I had a lot of time to sit and think. So our idle mind is the devil's playground. And he was just really trying to put me in a bad space. Like, I would apply for like jobs in the area and I wouldn't be getting them. But it would be like regular jobs, like regular retail jobs. And I have plenty of retail experience. Like, it was just, I don't know. it just wasn't working out for me. And I guess it wasn't working out for a reason, but yeah, it just wasn't working out for me. So I would either just not hear anything back from them, like, or they would like write me back like, oh, unfortunately, like, we're gonna move on with other candidates and blah blah blah. So I finally got my first serving job in November, and I was working at a Black-owned business, and it's called Shut Your Mouth. It's over on North Market Street, so make sure you guys go visit it. I actually went to go visit that place. Really funny, I went to go visit that place before I even started working there. And if you go back to one of my vlogs, I'm gonna link it down below. We did go there to eat, and the food is really, really good. So when I seen that they were hiring, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna apply, because, you know, I've eaten here before. Like, the ambiance is cool, the employees are cool. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna do it. So I started working there, and that was my serving job. So, you know, as a server, you live off tips. So guys, if you're watching this and you go out to eat, make sure that you're tipping your server, because we literally live off tips. Because if you cannot live off of $2 an hour, I'm sorry, you can't. And that's how much servers get paid, $2-3 an hour, blah blah blah. And we literally live off our tips. So please make sure you are tipping your servers, your bartenders, or whatever you're doing. So yeah, so I literally had to save every single dime that I had. So I had a Hennessy bottle, a championship bottle of Hennessy that I got for my birthday, and it was like an empty, you know, of course we finished it, and it was an empty bottle. And what I did was, literally every time I got tips, I put it in the bottle. I put all my money in the bottle. Like, every single last dime that I had, I put in that freaking, like, when I tell y'all, I was even saving my quarters. I was saving my freaking quarters. And when I went to like this restaurant, and I transferred in my quarters or whatever, and she was like, wow, what you got these quarters for? I'm like, you had $22 in quarters. And I'm like, really? Like, so guys, make sure you save your quarters, because quarters is money too. And yeah, so I was saving every single thing. I wasn't going out. The only thing I was paying for was like Ubers to get back and forth. And then, like, of course I would pay for like groceries and stuff to eat, but I would really try to limit it and try to eat in my job as much as I could, because I got 50% off. So you know, I would get like a chicken salad. Chicken salads is like normally like $6.95, so they came up to $3. And you know, I did stuff like that. I was eating once a day, guys. It was really bad. Do not do that. But I was eating once a day because I just didn't have time. I literally didn't have time to eat. So that was that. And so I was saving every dime from that job. Then I got hired seasonal at Victoria's Secret, and pretty much what I did was I put all my money on a company card, and I had them send me a company card, and you know, I went back and forth to work. And I didn't even touch that. Like, all the paychecks that I got from Victoria's Secret, it literally just sat there. I did not touch it or anything, because I was like, this is gonna be just, this is what I'm saving. And you know, I was saving my money for my tips. So when I say, guys, I was not spending no money. I spent money one time, and it was around Christmas, and I bought myself something from Victoria's Secret because it was having a semi-annual sale. But even when I did that, I went back with my tips and I put the money back. So like, I was really just saving all my money. And I came out here with $750. Yeah, I came out with $750. And a lot of people was like, you know, when I was coming out here, a lot of my friends were like, why are you going out there? You don't have no money. Like, you don't have a job yet. Like, you can't do that. Like, how are you going to get there? And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm going to get there. That's the only thing that I kept saying to myself was, I don't know how, but I'm going to get there. And a lot of people kept being negative, like, and I'm just letting you guys know, do not be surprised that, you know, if you get negative feedback from people who you think are your friends and people who are supposed to be your family or whatever. Like, I got a lot of negative feedback. Like, when I first expressed to my family, like, oh, I want to move to Atlanta. Oh, you don't have money for that. Like, oh, that's dumb. Like, you need to just come back to New York. And I'm just like, but that's not what I want to do. Like, and honestly, you just have to surround, because hearing that all the time will really discourage you. It'll make you feel like, well, dang, like, I really don't have enough money. And it's like, how am I going to survive out there? I'm going to be out there on my own. I got to pay rent. Like, do not let that discourage you. If God put something in you, and if God put an idea in you, and he put something in your heart, and you feel like this is where I really want to go, do it. Before I came out here, though, was I put my resume out. This is like 4 months before I came out here. When I first had the idea of coming out here, I put my resume out here, and I was like, well, let me just see if I can get a call back. Guys, when I tell you, I got a call back like 3 days later, and they were like, come out tomorrow, you know, for interviews. And I'm like, oh shoot, like I ain't got no money to travel to Georgia. I don't have no, like I don't have no one to stay with out there. Like I'm like, so even if I did this interview, like where would I stay and blah blah. If they hired me, like how would I even start? I wouldn't have a place to stay. I would have to come back to Virginia, get all my stuff. So I figured, okay, the first step I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find an apartment and I'm gonna come out here first. And since I know that the response rate is so high out here, I'm going to you know, I was like, I'm gonna have a place to stay and then I'm gonna job search. I'm out here on the 14th. On the 12th, I applied for a couple jobs, and the 15th I had an interview. The 16th I had an interview, and I had an interview today. So the response rate was really, really, really fast, and I just feel like I just needed a place. Like I wanted to start off with, I'm a big person on security, so I just needed a place to be able to stay, so that I'm like, okay, well I can do the job search out here and just have a place to stay until I can start grinding, you know. Okay, I don't really know. Okay, so and this person is pretty much asking me like, is this a permanent move for me or is it just temporary? So I don't really understand what, well, I don't know, I'm probably taking it literally, but temporary, I wouldn't say it's temporary, because I do expand, like I do want to stay here for a while. I want to network here, I want to expand. Do I want to stay here long term, if that's what you're asking? I'm not sure. I'm a person who I want to move. I want to live in different places. I want to you know, I've lived my childhood area, I've lived there my whole life, so it's like it kind of aggravated me, and I always wanted to move, because I always wanted to, you know, see something new. I get bored really fast, so I always want to, you know, go back and forth and see new things. So I really feel like I'll probably stay here for a while, you know, establish myself, and then branch off. I do want to go to the West Coast. I feel like I would like to live in the West Coast at one point in my life. So yeah, Atlanta's a right now thing until we can figure out what we really, really want to do. Because, you know, with elevation, it comes to change. You can't, if you're not changing, just step out on a limb and, like, you know, be ready for change, then nothing is going to happen. If you're not willing to put yourself out there to be uncomfortable, nothing is going to change. Nothing. As I said, my cousin lives out here, so I was asking her, like, hey, what areas do you live in? And even with that, like, it's friends and stuff that I had living out here, and I'm like, hey, what area do you live in? What area is good? Like, nobody wanted to give me feedback, nothing. Like, they just made everything so much harder. But even when I spoke with my dad, like, he told me, like, you know what, you a leader. You always been a leader. Like, since you were younger, you've always been a leader. And he was like, so, like, a lot of people count you out. And not in a way of like, oh, well, like, you know, forget Imani. They count me out in a way where it's like, well, Imani's always going to be good. Because at the end of the day, I am always good. And I am going to make sure I'm always good. So a lot of people count me out and they're just like, okay, well, like, she'll figure out a way for herself. Even if I tell her no, like, she'll figure it out. And I just feel like it's really unfair to have that attitude toward people. And I know a lot of people who are strong like me, and, you know, that one strong friend that you have. I'm a strong friend, y'all. I am the strong friend. And, like, you know, a lot of people didn't reach out to me. That's why I lost so many friends. That's why I cut so many people off, because I'm just like, when y'all need me, I'm here. And now when I need y'all, y'all not here. Y'all wouldn't support me. Y'all wouldn't repost a video for me. All young, and we all going through our own things, and we all have our own, you know, dreams that we want to accomplish. But 3 people that were really there for me, and they didn't offer me no type of money. They just sat here and offered me support. They talked to me. They gave me ideas. Like, even when people try to break me down and tell me, like, no, you shouldn't go, that's dumb, just go back to New York, just go back to New York. Like, so many people told me, just go back to New York, just go back to New York. And these people stood by me like, no. They know it's because once you get there, you're going to do something great. And I believe that. I believe that in my heart, that I'm destined to do something great. And I know I'm going to do something great. So when I have an idea and when I have a motive and I want to do something, oh, honey, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to stop until I do it. And that's just the type of attitude you need to have. You only live once, y'all. Like, y'all better do everything that y'all want to do. Do everything that you want to do, because it's like, I don't want to ever look back on life and be like, dang, I wish I would have moved to Atlanta that one time. Like, you know, I just got off track. Oh yeah, well, the apartments. Okay, so I went on apartments.com, and you know, I was just looking at apartments. I was looking at areas. I mean, that's good and bad in every area. So what I would say is, when you're looking for areas, and even when you're job searching, making sure that you're not that far from where you want to work. I also say research the areas. You know, just Google all the counties in Atlanta, and you know, just do your research. That's all. That's literally all I can say. Like, do your research, because I don't want to sit here and say, oh, this county is the best or that county is the best, because everyone has their own preference. So just really do your research and figure out where you want to live, how much you want to pay. You have to budget all this stuff out. You have to include, you know, like, okay, you're going to have to pay a light bill. You're going to have to pay cable. You're going to have to pay this. You're going to have to pay rent. You can't just think, okay, I need to have money for rent and that's it. Like, no, you have to include all the, you know, groceries, you know, stuff like that. Like I said, I've been in New York my whole life. So like, the minute I got out of New York, I was like, I'm not going back. I couldn't go back. I seen something else. I seen change. Like, I just did not want to go back. Don't get me wrong. I love New York City. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. But I just didn't want to go back. If I do go back, I don't want to say I'm never going back, because that's my hometown. Like, I love New York. But if I ever do go back, I want to go back when I'm more established, so that I can afford the life that I want to live. Because New York is very expensive, and the cost of living is really high. And like, people will scam you, or people will sell you false dreams and have you thinking that you know, can do anything. And then you get out there and then they leave you for dead. So that's one thing I would say. But Poochie's, oh my gosh, Poochie is not having it. I feel so bad. But yeah, in New York, would I go back to New York? Like I said, no, I wouldn't. Until I can afford the life that I want to live, I would go back to New York. But in this, like, no, I wouldn't go back. I do miss, that was the second question is, do I miss the block? Of course I miss the block. Of course I miss my childhood friends. A lot of my childhood friends, like from middle school, like shout out to IS-131, shout out to Tyler Unlimited, shout out to PS-138. A lot of my like middle school and high school and elementary school friends, they feel like they can't talk to me anymore because, like, you know, I haven't spoken to a lot of them in a long time, but I miss y'all, so hit me up. Yes, hit me up. I miss y'all. I really do. Some of them have been hitting me up, and it's just like, it's such a wonderful trip down memory lane, because I did make really good friends in like middle school and high school. And a lot of my middle school and high school friends and elementary school friends are doing really big things. And it's like, make sure you guys are following me on social media so that you can see the big things that my friends do, because anytime my friends do something big, I post them. I like to brag about my friends, like, and that's all I want to see. I just want to see everyone flourish. But yeah, this road was really hard. It was hard for me. It was really hard. But I just want to say, stick to it. Don't let nobody, you know, get in your head, and don't let naysayers tell you what you can and can't do, because a lot of the time, people will tell you that you can't do something because they know that if they were put in that position, that they couldn't do it. And you know your determination. And my thing is, just don't give up on your dream. If you're going to do this, you have to step out on a limb and you have to do it. Like, you have to really believe that you can do this. And even if you feel like you can't, like, you have to. Put yourself on the time constraint, because, you know, you be like, oh, I'm going to give myself like 6 months and then I'm gonna do it, and then like 6 months pass and you're like, all right, I'm gonna just give myself like 2 more months. 3 months pass, all right, at the end of this year. No, you have to put yourself on a really strict time constraint. Be hard on yourself, not OD hard. Well, I mean, I was hard on myself because I know how lax I can be, and I felt like, and as I said, just keep praying through the process and thanking God through the process. Y'all have to thank God even when things are not going right. When I was bouncing house to house to house, not having a place to stay, I was thanking God just for having a place to stay for a night. I was thanking God. You have to thank him even when you're going through it, because if you can't thank him when you're going through it, what makes you think you're going to thank him and praise him when you got it already? You see what I'm saying? So you just have to keep praying. You have to keep talking to God. You just have to pick up on the signs. Like with me, I said, you know, like I said, I started working in November, and I'm like, okay, January 15th, I'm going to move out. Like, I'm going to be out there. And, you know, my plans were not going as planned. And then I didn't have as much money as I wanted to have saved. My father came and he ended up driving me down to Virginia. So that saved me a whole bunch, and he helped me a whole lot. So I do want to say thank you to him, because he's helped me a whole lot with moving and, you know, just setting me up to make sure that I'm like okay while I'm here. So I want to really thank him for that. Keep praying, because God will use people in ways that and it's always the people that you least expected. It's always the people that you least expect that he would use, and he would have them doing everything that you need, because you work so hard. And as I said, you thanked him through the process, so he's gonna look out for you. He's gonna look out for you. You just have to trust him. Yeah, I would question it sometimes, like, oh my gosh, would I really? But you really have to just let go and let God. You have to trust him. Questions and pretty much the general topics that people were asking about when I moved. So yes, I'll give you a house tour. Everybody's like, I want a house tour, but I'm like, dang, can I like finish putting stuff in my house? But I think I'll do a house tour so that you guys can see where I'm at, because y'all nosy, whole T. That's really what that's about. Everybody just want to see what my house look like. Yeah, nosy. But for the people who actually do want to come out here and they do want to see what like the spaces look like, I feel like a lot of the apartments in Atlanta all look alike, because my house looked like my cousin's house, and we live in 2 different like counties. Who said that I inspired them? Just thank you. Like, y'all don't know how much that it just makes me feel so good. I'm making this video for y'all because I know it's a lot of people my age that want to do the same thing as me, but they're nervous. And you know, they were I feel like a lot of people were looking to me to be like, all right, let's see if she do it. If she do it, then maybe I could do it. Like, and honestly, it makes you feel away, because it's like, damn, well, y'all ain't support me when I was trying to do it. But it's like, some people do need to see that. They need to see other people take risks to know, like, okay, well, if they could do it, then I could do it too. And if I'm that person for you, I'm so happy. And I just hope that this video influences you to really chase your dreams, to really go out there and do it. If you want to be in North America, if you want to go to, you know, to New York, if you want to do anything, like, I just say do a lot of research, and just be really sure about what you want to do, and keep your goals to yourself. Keep them to yourself, because a lot of people didn't even know I moved. And when I moved, they were like, wait, you moved? Yeah, keep your goals to yourself. And I had to learn that the hard way, because I would tell people what I wanted to do all the time. Like, all my ideas and all. I'm a very creative person. I'm not ashamed to say that. I am so happy to say that I'm a very creative person. You know, I would have like ideas, and I'm like, oh, I want to do this, or I want to do that. An idea or a plan of like, you know, where I wanted to be in 2 years, or like how I wanted to do things. And it's like, people would tell me like, you can't do that. Like, you can't do it like that. That's dumb. Like, you couldn't do it like that. That method is not going to work. And then they would turn around and do the same thing that I did, and, you know, accomplish one of my goals pretty much for themselves. So that's the one thing I would say, is keep every goal to yourself. Get a journal, write everything down, get a vision board, make plans, like plan everything out. Yeah, everything is not going to go exactly how you plan it to, but plan everything out. Like, everything has to be extremely, extremely perfect, because that's how I thought it would be. Like, it has to look like this. It has to be like that. It has to be like this. But, you know, just be grateful for the accomplishments that you've made. Give yourself all the credit that you deserve, because, you know, I could have came out here like, okay, now I have to find a job. Now I have to hurry up and you know, stop. I got bills to pay. I got rent to pay. You know, I could have did that, but, you know, I am low key doing that, because, I mean, of course you want to keep that in the back of your head, because you don't want to be evicted or whatever. But, just, you know, just go about every day, like, enjoying the fact that you did something major, that you did something that you couldn't do. I did things that a lot of my friends and a lot of my family haven't done and still like didn't do. So for people who believe in your dreams and are gonna push you to where you need to be, not yes men that will pretty much just tell you like, yeah, anything you do is yeah, do it. People that are gonna be practical with you, but people are also gonna help you. You know, they're gonna find out ways to figure stuff out with you, or like, you know, they're gonna give you ideas, or they're gonna give you methods to save, like, you know. Really surround yourself with people who are gonna influence your dreams and make your dreams a reality. And that's what I had to do. And I feel like that's why I had to lose so many friends throughout 2018, because it's like I was always really insecure about things, because people would be like, oh yeah, like you could, but like, do you could be a YouTuber and do makeup, but like everybody's doing YouTube and everybody, and it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter what everyone's doing, because as long as you have the passion, and as long as you know you're really doing this because you really want to help people and you really want to, you know, just showcase your talents, and do it. I do YouTube because it's fun. I make you focus on yourself, even in this hair and makeup business. Like, make sure that you're not comparing yourself to anyone. Of course, everyone is selling lashes. So what? I'm selling lashes too. Bundles, okay, everybody's selling bundles, but so what? You got the best bundles on the planet. This is the attitude that you have to have. This is the attitude you have to have, because people are not going to support you at first. They're going to wait and see who supports you and see where it goes. And then when it starts to take off, that's when they're going to support you. And I tell myself that all the time. People are not going to support you until they have no choice but to support you. And by that, I mean, people support popularity. So you can have a great business going and a great idea, a great concept, and people will see it, but not repost you or nothing until someone else sees it and they see other people getting on the bandwagon. And then it's like, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, my sis do makeup. Go, sis. No. You have a friend that does makeup, that does hair, that does anything, make sure you are supporting your friend. Like, any way, shape, or form that you can, make sure that you support them, because they need that. Because they're uncertain about that idea too. We don't really know if this is what we want to do. When I started off doing makeup, I didn't know if this is really what I wanted to do. But, you know, I took a chance. And people told me, like, oh, you trash. Like, you know, I don't like your makeup. Like, you don't do makeup good. Like, I had so many people tell me that I was, like, bad at makeup when I first started out. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure I was. But, I mean, give me tips to improve. Don't be like, oh, you trash. They come back and they had to apologize to me. I'm telling you, I'm saying people had to come back and apologize to me for being how they were. And they had to sit here and they were telling me, like, you know, I see your improvement. I'm so proud of you. Like, you really doing this. And at the end of the day, there's no love lost. I'm not the type of person to rub it in your face. So I'm just like, thank you, I appreciate it. But I'm still going to keep our distance because I still feel some type of way about when you were saying that to me. Surround yourself with really positive people. Like, I had people praying for me and checking in on me and just giving me advice. And I'm just really, really appreciative to those people. Even the people who were there for me when I was like moving house to house and I had to call them, you know, in the middle of the night, or I'm calling them crying like, oh my gosh, I need you to take me here. Like, I'm locked out of the house. I don't have, you know, that's another thing. Like, you are going to open up your house to someone, like, just be considerate to those people. Like, they need you. They do need you. But it's like, you know, if I ever need you, that's my last resort. Because I'm going to do whatever I need to do for myself until I can make it for myself. And if I need you, that's when I'll ask you, and that's the last resort. So just don't be petty. Like, you know, it was times where I'll be calling my friend. I'll be like, oh my gosh, I need you to come get me. Like, I'm locked out. Like, you know, I wouldn't have a place to, you know, I would be staying with a friend, and then I would be like, okay, I'll see you tonight. Like, I'm coming back. And then, like, be locked out of the house multiple times. And it's just like, it's just irritating. I felt like it was them being spiteful. Them, like, I could feel so many ways toward people, but I just choose not to, because at the end of the day, I'm here. I did what I needed to do. And a lot of the people that I got into it with, their biggest thing was, oh, but you're going to go to Atlanta and not speak to me anymore. And I'm like, why do you feel like that? Why? Because people can see your potential before you can see it. I know what some people can see in you, like, yeah, she got something. It's something about her that's different. Something about her that sets her apart. And sometimes people don't want to see you win. They want to see you win, but not without them. Like, they got to be there with you. So I just felt like, you know, me moving to this next chapter in my life and me leaving behind people in Virginia, it's like people felt like, okay, well, she gonna move and never speak to me again. And that's not the type of person I am. I still keep in contact with everybody who keeps in contact with me. The only way I'm going to cut you off is if you do me dirty, or if I just feel like you're not beneficial in my life. That's the only reason. That's the only way that you get cut off. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you guys want more talks, like you want some more sit downs, and we could have a whole segment. Like, you could sit on the sofa. Y'all could sit on the sofa with me, and we could just have some girl talk, and we could just talk about anything. I have a lot of videos coming for you guys. I have a lot of story times that I have planned for you guys, because my life is so funny sometimes, and like sometimes I really have to sit back. Like, the stories and the things that people do to me, I have to really sit back like, yo, like, people be wilding on me. Yes, you guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and guys, don't forget to always stay luxurious. To find me, link in the bio. You looking for me? I'm in the bio.
What's your name?
Imani! Oh my gosh, Tay, I love you so much! about to cry. Oh my gosh, I can't